faces that I know, and I've met most of you guys. So I want to take the opportunity. I've got a bunch of things going on in my life, and this is one of them. So I started the company Behind the Mac a little while ago, and I may get into explaining why I'm going to start the brand transition to Atlas Technology Solutions, basically to make the big Apple monster happy. So we'll talk about that later. So we talked about what we do, and I think a lot of people in here at least are either in the technology world or do technology. And one of the things that I've kind of noticed over the years is that IT people, sorry, my slides are getting messed up. They're a little bit awkward to talk to sometimes. Maybe it's just me, but I just hate that. I hate the even the memes of, you know, move, get out of the seat so I can take care of your problem, right? When I started the business, I really wanted to make that different because I am a different type of IT guy, and we try to employ people that are different. I really take a personable approach, you know, try to relate and educate the person, because I really think that if the person can understand technology, they're going to like you better, they're going to be more appreciative, and they're just going to get back to their job, and inevitably, you know, it'll turn into business for me. But one of the main things that I do different is, gosh, sorry, my slides are all over the place. I am an Apple certified support engineer. So Apple is slated for the next decade to rival Microsoft in the business world, 50-50. That might seem crazy, but if you see, I do a lot of work in education, colleges, and the kids are starting to use more and more Apple products. When they start businesses, they're going to be using Macs. And as you can see, there were 2 Macs up here. There's lots of iPhones out there. But what I see in the industry is that Apple is ignored and neglected, or just, well, we don't know how to handle that, so we're just going to pretend it doesn't exist. Especially in the big corporations, they'll take a Windows engineer and try to revamp them into an Apple engineer, like, oh, it's a computer, right? You should be able to do this. And that is definitely not the case. So that's how I'm different with my company and the people that I hope to employ. This slide sort of shows you, people always complain about Apple products being more expensive. If you look at the base service, as far as power, licensing, distribution, whatever, they're pretty equal. But when we start getting up to how much does it cost for the operating systems, AV products deployment, you see there's a pretty big bump there. Management, I'm Jamf certified, which you guys probably don't know what that is, but it's the management platform that Apple uses to manage their own machines. You can see that's where there's a real big gap. And then this one is the biggest one here, help desk. You see how big that sort of margin is. It costs a lot to manage Mac PCs. Just from my experience, I've seen about 50 machines per engineer in big corporations. With Apple products, it's 400 to 1. So it costs a lot less. But there are less people like me out there. So my hope is to provide some services. We're already doing, I've got a couple of clients up here that I've helped train and educate over the past couple of years. So as I was putting this together, I was like, wow, this is pretty crazy. A lot of education, big corporations, and as you can see, there's lots of people in here that you would think maybe wouldn't use a Mac. And I've had the fortune to help them all. So we provide services for small to medium-sized businesses. I don't do iPhone screen repairs and things like that. So that's my business, and my hope is to take that different approach to educate and train, and also kind of pay attention to Apple and the enterprise. So so that's what I do. My hope is to, one of my struggles, I guess, is that I went from having a team to being by myself, and that's this big struggle as an extrovert. It's like, I need to be around people, so it's awesome to be around you guys and present for a little bit. So questions, comments, snide remarks?
Wow.
Yes, ma'am.